Yes, legends, we're back for another episode. This is 26 Podcast. I'm your host, Rogan McGeorge.
I didn't like him at the time because I thought, you're horrible. You're a horrible man. Obviously, it worked. So,
What do you do? Just hammer you about your game?
I don't know, just the way he talked to people. Not just me either. I used to get annoyed the way he used to talk to Liam Hughes. Like, he had problems, bless his heart, and he's come out, and I'm so proud of him for what he's doing now, Liam, talking about his mental health and all that. And he was in a bad way at Cambridge, and I hate the fact that I didn't help him as much because I didn't know. And that's shit. I feel well bad that why couldn't you come to me? And he did. We knew he was struggling at times, but we didn't think he was that bad. And he'd always play and score and do well. So you just think he's actually all right. He'll go home and he'll be fine. And he'd come in the next day and he's like, and because he was a class clown, usually, you'd think he's all right. Mad. But I didn't like the way Richard dealt with him, and Jez at times, but more Rich. Yeah, I don't know. You know, when you just like, I done it. I wanted to play well and win because, in spite of him, almost go fuck you. Like, I am good enough almost. And it worked. So
it's one of them where you go, you don't like it, but then you got the best out of you. So it's
loved it because we won at Wembley twice, mate. I got my hometown club, and he got my hometown club promoted back to the Football League. So I absolutely love Richard Money, but I also didn't like him at the time.
Yeah.
But I love him now. I'd love to see him and give him a big cuddle now.
Brilliant. Talk us through the day, how it transpired. Of course, the famous day, Gateshead, the Wembley. Obviously, as you say, you had that dress rehearsal, as it were, against Gosport. We'd managed to just get through against Halifax.
Yeah.
We're at Wembley. This has got to be third time lucky. What was that day like? Was it tense? Was you nervous? And was there a confident approach? This was the time you were going to do it?
I was so nervous because Gateshead were flying. Obviously, we didn't finish strong that season. We didn't finish very well. I remember Rich being stressed because he was like, the last team we want in the semi-final was Halifax because they were flying. I remember it, just the whole playoffs and that game. Nervous because we played Halifax away, lost 1-0, give a penalty away, and Lee Gregory scored.
That was it. We had the chat on the way in the car.
So I'm thinking, after that game, I am bricking it. But I'm also thinking, no, we'll win it. Like 1-0, fine.
We can overturn
We'll keep a clean sheet because we kept a lot of clean sheets that year. I thought, we'll keep a clean sheet because the boys will help me out and we'll keep clean and we'll score. Someone will step up to the plate. I don't know who it would have been. Delano, thank God for Delano. It was him, but I sort of knew we'd win there. And it was like, well, we always win semi-finals at Cambridge when we're in. Done it at Stevenage, so someone's going to be Scott Rendell and do it for me now. And I remember winning that game. Again, pitch invasion. Again.
Was your dad there?
He was, and he waited till the full-time whistle. And he waited, and as I was running up, I remember he come down, and Halifax fans were horrible, I think. Dad he said they were being pricks, giving it the big one. So I remember seeing him run all the way down them stairs, and I watched him, and I was running and I was thinking, he's going to come to celebrate with me. This is our moment, another moment. This is our moment. He's going to come. Did he fuck? He ran straight in front of their fans. Done his knee or something, or his hamstring. He was like, and he was limping. No, that was it, because I was running towards him, and he was like, tried to dodge me to go to the fans, and he was and he couldn't walk for about 3 days after.
Legend.
But
that'd bother.
Yeah, so that was a good game, and then I remember me and Dusty actually went on Soccer AM. So obviously loved Max Rushton, brilliant. And over the years, actually, I've got to know a lot of the Soccer AM boys. So Curly, who I actually went to CRC with, James Kirkland, Tubes, all of them, Rocket, all of them. You sort of get to know them. So like Tubes, I speak to Tubes now and all the time. So I remember me and Dusty were like, come, we'll go. We had Saturday off, I think. I can't remember why we went. We went and we got in the green room, so we'd go in as like guests. Weren't on the sofa or anything, but we went in as guests. Kasabian were there. Sean Dyche was there, and he'd just got promoted to the Prem with Burnley. And I remember Tubes coming out, going, Sean, because we were in the green room, like just chilling, having a chat. Sean, so they'd done that Andy Carroll and Fellaini thing where they had like a flat.
The wigs and that.
The wigs and that.
Yeah.
So I remember them coming in and saying, Sean, you're going to dress up as a spaceman. Is that all right for that skit, that little bit? He went, nah, look, Tubes, I can't do it. I've just got promoted to the Premier League. I can't be dressing up as a bloody spaceman. And I'm like, yeah, he's right. You can't do that. Tubes went, well, Coles, you're going to do it then. I was like, no, not me. I'm not doing it. Dusty's like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. I was like, oh, all right then. He's like, you can just read off the little monitor thing what you got to say. And I was like, all right, whatever, I'll do it. And it was me and the lead, not Serge, the other one, the singer from Kasabian, who got done now, bless him. And he was a Sky man, dressed as a Sky man, and it was something like Andy Carroll's going to the World Cup, and I had to come in and go, did someone say over the moon? It's on YouTube. Dressed as that, and I got sucked right into it. But anyway, that was brilliant. And then we went into the car park and done it was the one where it was League 2, League 1, Prem, Champions League. And me and Dusty, Max interviewed us on telly, said, it's lucky you're in the final, isn't it, Josh? Because what happened at Halifax away? Why did you do that? Give a penalty away? And I was like, well, it made it interesting, didn't it? It did. And then he went, if you get it in that League 2, it means we're definitely getting promoted. And I hit it straight into the League 2. I was like, it's a sign.
It's
actually a sign.
It's happening.
So, yeah, and then obviously went to the final, and then that's the whole other story, isn't it? It's incredible day.
You just go down on the morning?
Yeah,
was it?
went down,
no
tried like another game.
Yeah.
Who was in goal?
Adam
We
Smith.
didn't have a goalie, yeah. So Smith
was on loan.
Yeah, great goalie as well. Had a good
Yeah, he
career.
was a good keeper.
He
Likes
obviously
Thailand.
that was a bad thing. I remember him signing it because obviously the goal that we had was out, and Will was injured, and someone else was injured, so we got him in, and I was thinking, oh no, like Jesus Christ, because and then the Gateshead goalie was played in the final for us.
Adam Bartlett.
Adam Bartlett played for us in the final against Exeter or
that
something
was
like
the
that.
twist, you're right, yeah.
And I was like, this is mental, it's happening again. Like, now he's in goal for Gateshead. And I was like, oh my God. But yeah, game, we played a free at the back. We never played free at the back. Richard Money went, we're going to play free at the back. But we played Greg Taylor, who was playing left back. He played left side centre half. Me, Dusty, Tatey right wing back. Can't remember who played left wing back. But he went, obviously, if we need to change, then we'll just put the back four in. Oh, it was Kev Roberts played, actually, sorry, right wing back. And he said, if it don't go well, we'll just go back into the back four. But he'll come in right back, Greg left back, you two centre back. So I was like, why are we playing free at the back? Oh, I do not know. And then we got battered to start with. Went back to the back four, felt comfortable. Hughesy, great goal. Unbelievable scenes. And then one of the best free kicks I've ever seen live. Ryan Donaldson, right behind it. Ryan Donaldson, bang, goal, 2-0. I'm thinking, buzzing with one because we ain't conceding a goal. And then Dusty, bless him, snapped his Achilles. Oh, horrible. I mean, even watching it now makes me emotional for him. Horrible. But again, meant to be because I remember Hughesy coming back, playing at the back with me, and it was just carnage. It was when Curtis, the big ginger fella, centre half for them, missed a header from 2 yards out, and it went wide. When that went wide, I remember going to myself, they ain't fucking scoring. They'd scored, it was 2-1.
Yeah, Jack Lester.
But I was like, they're not scoring again, because he's missed that. I said, it's on. The luck's on our side today. It has to be. I remember it going wide, and Smithy going to get the ball, and I'm thinking to myself, with one, they ain't scoring. They're not. It's happening. And then the full-time whistle goes. So I'm planning in my head. I remember, what am I going to do when this whistle goes? Because we were shooting towards our fans. So I'm like, I know where my dad, I know where my mum and dad, and I know where they all are, and Mrs. So I know where I'm going. I'm going to sprint there and celebrate with them. Full-time whistle goes. Goosebumps now talking about it. I'm like, about to run, and I just break down. I just go like to my knees. And I'm like, I can't move. We've done it. Like,
Yeah.
I've won at Wembley with Cambridge United to put us back in the Football League. And I'm looking at the stands, and I remember Kev Roberts running over to me, I think, grabs me, and Greg stood me up. And I remember just feeling weak, but emotional, crying, and then running in, celebrating, and it was just, unbelievable, mate. And then, because Dusty had done his, obviously, Achilles, I was, where's Dusty, where is he? And they weren't going to let him out. He was in a wheelchair, and they weren't going to let him out, but he broke out somehow, and he comes out with his missus, and I remember seeing him, because we were really close, me, my missus, Dusty, because we lived, Red Lodge, they lived in Exton, but we used to, as families. And I remember seeing Vix and being like, breaking down, like, Dusty, we've done it, rah, rah. But he couldn't get up the stairs, could he? He's our captain. And he said, get up there, you and Kev Roberts, get up there and lift it. So I was like, and he knew how much that would mean to me. So I remember going up being like, I'm about to lift a fucking trophy at Wembley. Like, I did it with the FA Trophy, but I'm about to be the one that lifts it, and there's going to be photos forever. Some prick got in front of me. I can't remember who it was. So there's just me going like, and incredible. Obviously, it gives me goosebumps now, even just thinking about it.
Is that your shirt and medal in there?
That's the shirt and the medal, yeah.
That's the actual shirt, yeah, that you wore on the day.
Yeah, that's the one I wore on the day. It's still quite clean, actually.
Fantastic.
But I remember wheeling Dusty around the pitch as well. Groundsman fuming. Me and Dusty.
Was he?
Yeah.
You get a bollocking, did you?
Yeah. I remember having a scarf around my head, pushing Dusty with a hat on.
I think there's a picture somewhere.
There is a picture of that. There is. And then, celebrating, obviously, unreal. Celebrating great pictures in the change rooms of the trophy with Jez, with Bears, Will, all them, like, people who I love to bits. Champs, Ryan Donaldson, Tatey, Kev Roberts, like, honestly, Tom Elliott, Dunks, too many to name, Ads, Cunnington. It was just an unbelievable team, like, of people. So to do it with them meant more as well. And then we went to the club. And I remember getting back to the club, and I had the worst headache. I think because I was so drained. And I was probably so dehydrated as well. And instead of drinking water, I was drinking beers.
Hot day as well.
Hot day.
I
remember getting back thinking, I was like knackered, but wanting to kick on. And obviously, in the Dublin suite, and Richard's on the mic singing. It was so funny. And then I started little coconuts. And I remember having a bad headache, thinking I can't drink anymore. Dusty don't drink, and he'd done his left Achilles. He had an automatic, so. But Dusty never drinks, but he's the life and soul of the party. So we went from there, stayed there for ages, and then went into town. And Dusty's like, Josh, your car's automatic. I'll drive. I'm like, maybe you can't drive. He said, yeah. It's my left, like, he's got a boot on. I was like, I'll drive your car, and then I'll drive you home later on, and I'll just whatever. I was thinking, yeah, but you don't want to come, like, you know. He's out. He's the life and soul on his crutches, celebrating. Greggy T steaming. Adam Cunnington had to go to had to be at the airport at like 2 a.m. for a flight to Marbella to meet his family, and I remember him being outside Revs, stopping taxis, going, take me to, and no one was taking him. And I think Ben Phillips and someone else ended up taking him to Stansted, steaming. Obviously, the driver wasn't steaming, but yeah, brilliant. Like that was, and then I remember getting home at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I lived in Red Lodge at the time. And Dusty's driving my car, honking the horn. Cambridge!
Was he?
Singing, going up. My missus waking up. What are you two doing, you dickheads? She loved it. And then went into town the next day with her and a mate, with my medal around me. With that medal, going around town. Missus had a day off work, so we was like, come, we're going out celebrating.
Brilliant.
But that whole week was good because, I don't know if anyone remembers, Jez done one of his mad walks. So he had like a marquee was in the car park at the ground, and he'd done like a black tie event dinner thing to raise more money and stuff. So like a load of boys, we was like, let's all go have another piss up. And the next day was the open bus. And I remember Ryan Donaldson lived past Papasha, opposite the ground, down there in a little house down there. He was living there. I was like, right, I'm staying at yours, and then we'll go out tonight. I'll stay at yours, we'll get up, meet at the club for the bus. Went out, went to this thing with Jez's do, brilliant. It was class. You know, like one of them events where it's just brilliant. It's like a wedding, it was. So we were steaming. Luke Chadwick was there. Tate, all of us were there, steaming. Going to town, end up going out in town. So it was like a Friday night. Wicked night. I remember looking at my watch, going, it's like, right. I was like, don't know, it's like 4 a.m. We was here, like, and that. I was like, don't know, like, it's 4. We've got to be at the club at 8. Like, we've got 4 hours. And I was looked up, we was in Market Square. And we were just sitting there and like just chatting. We looked up and then the congratulations Cambridge United banners getting put up at like 4 a.m. And we're like, maybe we should go back home. So we went back to Rise, had a couple hours, Kip got up, got on the bus and went again. Yeah. 4 beers, celebration. So we celebrated it very well. Didn't go away, but
some memories that will live with you forever. And it was quite fitting that when we got into League Two, the first player to score a goal was yourself. Yeah. So talk us through that as well.
Again, for me, I didn't ever think of playing in the Football League. You know, like some people go, I want to play in the Prem or Football League. Never for me. It was, obviously, like I say, when I was at Cambridge City, I didn't even think I was going to make a professional. Then went to Cambridge United and I was like, well, if I can get a couple of games for Cambridge United, that's unbelievable. Play for my club, like that I support as well. And then it was like, shit, I'm playing for Cambridge United now in the Football League. Like, it means so much to the club, to everyone. And I remember being at the club before the fixtures got released. And it also done the Carabao Cup as well, the same day, like the draw. And we got drawn to Birmingham away, didn't we? I was like, shit, this is actually real. Like, going to play at Birmingham. We've got like 2 games at the start of the season. Then we're going Birmingham away. I was like, Jesus Christ. Beats Fylde away or
Tamworth
away and stuff like that. I'm like, we're going to proper grounds now. This is going to be brilliant. But then obviously, Plymouth at home, first game of the season. Just buzzing, really. I mean, the atmosphere was so good that day. It was like, we're back, and it was a bit of a party atmosphere. I mean, it was a dead game, 0-0. Set play, like you say. Was it Kwesi that flicked it on then?
Yeah, corner coming, Kwesi's
I just remember it just being there, and I'm like, oh my God, just smash it in. I mean, I couldn't have missed. Normally, every time I talk about it, it gets further away, but I couldn't miss. I just remember levering it in the goal. Thinking, it's just celebrate. I remember Robbie Simpson chasing me.
And you run towards
high-fiving all the people in there, like, it's happened. And then when you go back and sit in position, I'm like, 1-0 me. Like, I want this to finish 1-0 me now. Yeah. No one else score.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I'm like, please, 1-0 Josh Colson, first game back. That's class. And like I said, I couldn't have wrote that any better. Because again, that's probably, it's in the history.
Etched in history, yeah.
Even if you don't like me, that's staying there. And that is my little
that happened
bit of history. So,
Some great times at Cambridge, mate, and I can speak as a fan that stood on the terraces, and I'm sure Scott is the same. We enjoyed having. It's always good as a supporter to have a supporter in the team playing. Give a great service to the club. Obviously, there was a day that come where you had to leave the club, and you moved on. How did that all come about? And tell us where you moved to.
So Sean Derry, manager, again, unbelievable career. Again, the club started getting a bit more money, so brought in Leon Legg, Mark Roberts. Again, 2 not good, just good footballers, unbelievable human beings. Like Mark Roberts is a friend for life. I speak to him quite regularly. I see him. He come to watch me. Kingston had Warrington where he lives, so he come and watch me the other day. I see his kids. 2 great people, but great players. So I was thinking, well, he's not having me as a player, whatever. But I'll fight. I'll keep fighting. And then I remember my phone going, and it was my agent, Danny Nesbitt. Said, Orient, Martin Ling's at Orient. So Martin Ling was my manager, obviously our gaffer at Cambridge. Loved him. Obviously, again, going through mad time in his life, depression, and no one knew. And again, I think underrated manager. So he had just got the job at Orient. They'd just got rid of their Italian owners because they were a mess. And Nigel and Kent had just bought the club to America. Well, an American and a lad who lives in America, Kent, Nigel, just bought the club, sorted all the debt out, but they'd been relegated to the National League. So I remember ringing Martin Ling, speaking to him in the garden in my old house, walking around. He's like, look, obviously we want you to come, blah, blah, blah. Then the manager rang I spoke to the manager at the time, and he was like, look, we want you to come on loan, come till Jan, come play for us, whatever, we'd love you to come, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, probably too good of an opportunity to turn down, because Orient, massive football club, new owners, new project. I thought I could go in and hopefully help them succeed. And then it was like talk to Mrs., talk to my dad. I didn't want to leave, but I had to leave because I'd have just rotted. And at the time, if Orient are coming, I thought I see it as, well, it's just a bigger club. It's just as big a club as Cambridge. So I'm not just going anywhere. I'm going to a proper football club with massive history. So yeah, ended up saying, yeah, right, I'll go. Steve Davies was the manager at the time. And again, great guy, lovely bloke, great coach, great manager. Put a really good team together, really good team. I remember going first game, but so I agreed to go, but I was like, right, I'm buzzing because I can go and train with Orient on the Friday. And then they had a friendly against Billericay on the Saturday, so I thought, buzzing. Go and meet all the boys Friday, train with them, play the game Saturday. Anyway, Sean Derry was like, no, you're not. I'll come in on Friday, come here, I want to speak to you like before you go, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but I could go training with them. I thought, whatever, I'll train with them for Cambridge. Got in, had a chat with Sean. He was like, I think you should go. I think it's a good chance for you. I see it. It annoyed me a little bit because I was like, why have I come in for you just to tell me that? And then he was like, don't train with us today because if you get injured, obviously you can't go. I'm like, well, no, I've got to fucking train with them, which annoyed me a little bit, but it is what it is. Played against Billericay, and honestly, when I played, I didn't know any of the lads, didn't know how they played. The manager said, like, we want to try and be a bit of a footballing team. Honestly, I played that game, I was like, well, we'll piss the National League if we play like this. We were unbelievable. I was like, what have I come to? This is unreal. So good. Started the season off really well. We started really well. Got a few injuries. I got injured. George Elakobi got injured. So we were the two main centre halves. Got injured. We were flying to start with, actually. And then we got a few more injuries. Charlie Lee, centre midfielder, really influential. And then we dipped. The lads that come in weren't good enough. So Steve Davis got the sack in the end. And then I think the best manager I've ever played for got appointed, Justin Edinburgh. I'm not saying that because he's not here with us no more, but I'm saying it because he was the best person I think I've ever met in football, especially as a manager. For me, unbelievable. As well as, like, I support Cambridge, but I support Tottenham as well. Everyone knows that, I think. He was a Tottenham legend, so he's coming in to manage the football club. So, yeah, that was the start of something incredibly special.
What made him so special?
His character, his personality, the way he got the whole team. We were a good group of lads, actually, really good, real close. But the way he made us all bond even more and get families and the kids, honestly, like, it sounds so stupid and it's so easy to do. But Justin's missus, Kerry, again, one of the best women you'll ever meet in your life, would get all the girls' numbers. Right, I'm taking you all out for dinner. We're going to London. I'm taking you all out for dinner on the club. Right, we're going out as girls. So they would go out. They'd all bond. And if I think that's a massive thing for football. So Justin made a thing of, right, we need your girls on board because there's going to be days where I've got to keep you in late or we're away for the weekend, we're away miles, but we want them to know that we all care and, like, we're all together. So he would make a massive effort to make sure they're comfortable. And at games we'd come in and Kerry had made sure, like, in Orient, it's brilliant at Orient, obviously a great ground, so you go up and they made like a whole section for the family and the girls and the kids and put kids stuff, toys and colouring and stupid things like that where they can come to the game and actually relax and not stress about where their seat is, and in the games the blinds have to come down because you're not allowed to drink or whatever watching the game. But Justin and Kerry were like, no, we're keeping that blind up, the end one, so the girls can watch the football and watch their boyfriends and husbands play football, and the kids can just play because they can't go and sit outside or whatever, which made them feel comfortable, which made, ultimately, the boys, as soon as I got to the ground, right, I used to buzz off it because Harry would be playing with Axel dates his little kid, who they're like best friends. And I know Loz can get a wine and just chill out. So I'm chilled now because I'm not worried about she's stressing. It's like what's happening with them. And the kids, like, because kids are hard work. So little things like that, that's what I think made him unreal. Like, and he, also the way he managed the team and just the way he talked to people, his banter and just everything. He was just a special human.
When players were paying tribute to him on Twitter, lots of them were referring to him as their football dad.
Yeah.
And I know that you said that before when we were off camera, that he had that togetherness, and even hearing that story there is quite astonishing because it's crazy how all of those little things where you can go to a ground and, you know, as being a professional footballer, it's about how you feel mentally, being able to relax, not thinking about anything other than the game.
Take your mind off it.
How he got that correct, and that feel not only is it doing good for the wives and the girlfriends and the kids, but it filters down to the team.
Yeah, ultimately he done it for us because he wanted us to succeed. Now he would have done that at every probably club he managed, and it worked at Orient, and it worked at a lot of other clubs as well that he managed, by the way, because he was a good manager. But yeah, like I said, he's quite similar. He was similar to my dad, to be fair. He was a joker, he was a big kid at times, and you knew when not to cross. There was a line, and you don't cross that line. No one did. And if they did, see you later, they've gone. And I see him and George Elokobi, who are both massive characters. George overstepped the line maybe a little bit, and Justin got rid of it. And it was his way. That, like, everyone respected it, and he was like a dad. If you had something at home or whatever, or he'd do a day. So I think it ended up being like once a month. We had a day at training ground where bring your kids in. Kids coming in. He made the chef cook all the kids chicken nuggets, chips, whatever. Kids are coming in. Like, they can play in there. We'll go out, have a light training session. Then they can come out, kick a ball around. But no wives. Tell the girls to go. You bring the kids in. And he used to do it like all the time. Like, enough, we're going to do a light session. Bring the kids day. Honestly, shit, like, little things. He was a dad. And, like, my kids loved it. Like, Harry. And he was so good with Harry. Like, so good. At the end of the season, I got Player of the Year. National League Player of the Year. And he got Manager of the Year. So we had to go to an event at Chelsea Football Club to get our awards. And I took Harry. So it was me, Loz, Harry, and then Justin and Kerry were there, and Martin Ling and Caroline, his missus, was there, representing Orient because they got Club of the Year as well. So we went, and like Harry must have been 3 or 4, and he there was like these bags on the back of a chair, everyone's chair, like the sponsor put a goodie bag on the back. I think it was rubbish, nothing in it any good. But Harry was like, oh, goodie bag. So while someone was talking, I'm like looking around, and then I look around, and Justin's got Harry taking him around, robbing people's bags off the back of their chair. Harry was the only kid there, like only kid. And again, Justin was like, "Bring him." That's brilliant. And so Justin said he's like robbing the things. Go on, Harry's got like 5 bags because the gaffers like robbed them all. But like, like little, so he was like so good with everyone's kid. At Easter, he'd bring everyone's kid. He'd bring in 20 Easter eggs. Right, Josh, that's for Harry and Harper. He'd know everyone's name, like straight away. He knew everyone's name. It's like he made that extra effort to make you feel comfortable. At Christmas, they'd all get a goodie, like a chocolate selection box and a present. So like for me, they're the sort of things I remember. Yeah, I remember we were a fucking good footballing team, but I remember that what little things he'd done for my family, and he'd see my dad, all right, Dave, and like little things like that where they would, so he was incredible.
That's above and beyond.
Absolutely.
Above.
But
and
I think
beyond.
as a manager, I think it worked for him, and little things like that make like I would have run if he had told me to jump off a cliff. I'd have jumped off the cliff.
Yeah.
Because I'd have done anything he said. Because I'd go to war with it, like for him. I think that's as a manager you should. Again, Richard Money weren't like that. I wouldn't have jumped off a cliff for him, but I wanted to play for him and I wanted to do well. So different styles do work, but like I said to you, I think for me and my personality and the way I am as a human, Justin Edinburgh was the perfect manager for me. Weren't always nice. Like he would give me every now and then, and I'd not fall out of him. But I remember we played Wrexham at home. I just got back from injury. And we played. Was it Wrexham at home? Yeah, it was Wrexham at home. I think it was on telly. Might have been on BT. And I got to the game and he went, "I'm not playing you today." I was like, "What?" He went, "No, I'm not playing. I'm going to play Marv. I'm not going to play you." I said, "Why?" He said, "Look, you've just come back from injury. You've played, and I need you to play the next 2 games. I need you. They're more important than them games. They're harder. I need you in them games." I'm like fuming. Anyway, I come on against he was like, "If I need you to," we were winning, so he brought me on, and the lad who played in front of me scored. We won 1-0. So I'm like, you ain't gonna drop him. He just scored and won us the game. Get to the next game. It was, can't remember who it was. Aldershot away. We won 2-0. I scored 2 goals, and he played me. So little things like that, I'm like, he knows. And honestly, I scored 2 exactly the same goals. Brophy, assist, corner. Both goals, corner, bang, 2-0. I scored, and he didn't play me in the game before, and I was pissed off. But he knew that was the right thing to do, and he knew that I would play really well against Aldershot. Mad, like, and I'm like, yeah, you're a genius.
So it must have obviously, all that. He made it so personable, as well as being a great football player, great football manager. To lose Justin must have been an amazing shock. Where was you when you sort of found that news out? And obviously you must have been absolutely devastated.
Yeah, I'd probably say, look, I've lost grandparents and things like that, and you sort of accept it because they've lived their life, they've had a good life, and they were ill. This hit me mad. It was so hard to deal with. It was one of the worst things I think I've been through. I was at home. We got the call. We had a big like a Zoom call thing, and Ling told us about he's had a cardiac arrest and blah blah. And it was only he'd literally been to the Tottenham Champions League final, representing Tottenham. So he went as an ambassador and he said I can imagine because he loved a good drink and good party. So he would have absolutely loved it and come back, done a fitness class with his wife Kerry and had a cardiac arrest. So when we got told and he's in a coma, blah blah blah, and we were like, shit, what's happening here? Like I was just shocked, couldn't believe it. But we had booked, so the chairman Nigel Travis, every year he'll get like 2 or 3 players to go over to Boston in America where he lived and go there. And he'd host them, and it was me, Craig Clay, who's like one of my best friends, Martin Ling, and Ross Embleton, the assistant manager. We were all scheduled to go out. I can't remember what day it was. We were scheduled to go out, and we were like, "Well, we're not going to go now if this is happening. Like, we need to be in the country." And then I think it was maybe Kerry said, "No, you got to go. Just go. Like, what can you do? We can't do nothing." So we went, but a day later, and obviously we're trying to enjoy it because he's hosting us. We done like a coaching session, then we took us on his yacht, and took us for dinner, and it was like he was the best host ever. And then we went in the morning to watch his daughter play football, and me and I think we'd had a few beers the night before. And then we went to watch, and then we see me, Craig, and Ross were like just watching away, and then we see Martin walk off on the phone, pulled the chairman because he was coaching the team, and I was like, "Oh no, something's happened." Or like it could be good, it could be bad. Like I don't know, but something's happened.
News, yeah.
Anyway, they didn't say nothing. The game finished. Got in the cars, went back to the house. Then Martin said, "Boys, come in here. I need to speak to you." As soon as he said that, we knew that he'd passed away. Told us that he'd passed away. So like, obviously, that was really tough. Broke down. First person I rang my wife, told her. She was just as gutted because he meant that much, in bits, in tears. I was like, I've got to ring my dad. Rang my dad, and I was crying anyway, but burst into tears. Like, I couldn't believe it. He was crying, my dad. It was horrible. Like, really, really emotional. Really, just gutted. Absolutely devastated. Not just, but for his family, because I was close to Charlie, his son, Sydney's daughter, Kerry, were like, obviously it's their dad and their husband. So tough, really tough. And then we had to do there was loads of calls to the team, and it was horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anyone because it was so tough, like horrendous. And then we were scheduled to go watch Boston Red Sox, the baseball. Obviously, it's like one of the most famous baseball grounds in the world, and I was like, no, we're not going, we can't go. And then Martin Ling, who, he doesn't drink, he was incredible in this whole thing. He was unbelievable. He said, he sat us down, we were like, we're not going. The chairman was like, look, if you want to go, we'll go, because I've got the tickets. If not, it's fine, we can stay here. And then Martin went, boys, because we would all calm down by then and spoke to everyone we needed to. We'd calm down a bit, and we just gutted, sat on the sofa, and he went, boys, if Justin was alive, or if he come back and said, do you want to go? You should, like, what do you think he'd say? Go or not go? We was like, well, he'd fucking tell us to go because he loved to a party or whatever, loved to drink. He said, go. And Martin didn't drink or anything. He went, and also what he'd say is, have a fucking drink, have a few drinks and celebrate for me. So we went to the baseball, which was the best decision ever because it sort of not took our minds off it, but again, you're reminiscing about him straight away. And because we were together, I was with Craig Clay, Ross Embleton, the assistant, Martin Ling, director of football, the chairman. So we were like we were together. Like, because all I wanted to do was be with the boys because obviously we'd been through so much that we'd just won the league. We were I just wanted to be with the boys. But I was lucky because I was with Craig, who's like my best friend, and we didn't leave each other's side for ages after that. And we went to the baseball, watched the baseball, had a few drinks. I say a lot of drinks. Martin Ling was probably the worst influence ever because they come down with the big like crates of beers. Beers, who wants beer? And they're walking down, up and down. Martin's like, yeah, 3 more. I'm like, Martin, yeah, 3 more.
And he's not drinking them.
He don't drink.
No.
He don't drink. And he was like, yeah, 3 more. The chairman's like in front with his kids. He's going like, another one, yeah, paying for it. And then after the game, we went out for food, got food, and then the chairman said, look, again, Justin would want you to go and enjoy your evening, be together. So we went out into Boston, me, Craig and Ross, got back. Obviously, you're drunk, had a few beers, had a good cry together, which was, for me, was massive because quite an emotional guy. So to be able to cry with Craig, and he's quite a don't cry, tough kind of guy. So I wanted him to get his emotions out. So we were together so we could help each other, which was quite nice in a way. And then we come back, when we flew back, sort of really hit you. We sort of went to the stadium. I got back, picked Loz and the kids up, went straight to the stadium to put some flowers down and that, and to see the support and all the flowers and the shirts and the messages hit home big time. And then Joby was there with his kids and that, and because we were we were a family. We were a family, and we just lost our dad, so really tough. And then that first day of pre-season was just horrendous. And there was only one thing, like, because I was with Ross Embleton in Boston, and I said, he's obviously now thinking, like, what's going to happen? Someone's got to run the team. Someone's got to be the manager. And I said to Ross, look, we can't get a manager in. Like, there's no one can come into this job who we don't know. You've got to take it. You've got to step up. And bless his heart, he stepped up. Yeah, he stepped up. And again, that's where Orient as a football club were incredible. I mean, it was such a hard time for everyone, and they were there for support. The chairman would have gone, again, can't speak highly enough of both of them, Nigel Travis and Kent Teague. They are 2 of the most incredible human beings ever. They would do anything for you. They were like support. If you needed to speak to anyone, they would have booked it and got it and paid for anything that you needed. As a team, everything we needed, they they would have done, they would do for you. But it was tough, real tough. Obviously, the funeral, we had the funeral, we all went. It was a closed funeral, but the family, Charlie and Kerry, they wanted us to be there, and I don't think I've cried that much ever. I could not stop. And I'm watching Dean Brill, who's like tough goalkeeper. We're like sobbing together, and it's actually quite nice. Sean Derry was quite close to Justin, and he was at the funeral, and again, it was a really nice moment. Maybe I didn't agree with what happened with me and Sean or whatever, but I see Sean and we had this massive embrace and a cuddle and a cry together, and it was like, you know what, football's more than football. That's what hit me the most. Sean, you might not have played me and might not have been having me as a player, but we're both humans and we both love Justin Edinburgh, and I love you for that. So like we had this massive embrace, and the respect I've got now for Sean Derry it went from, I had a lot of respect for him because he had a hell of a career, but it went up because I see him as a human and what he's about. So again, as tough a time it was, we took a lot out of it. And Charlie Edinburgh's doing unbelievable things, and Kerry and Sid, they're doing unbelievable things in his name. And like I say, I'll do anything for them guys. They are like family. I still speak to Charlie all the time, and Kerry, and my wife Lauren speaks to Kerry quite a bit and stuff like that. So, but yeah, probably the toughest time I think I've ever, not just in football, in life. It was a tough situation to deal with, as well as having kids who looked up to him and loved him. To tell like my little boy that Gaffer's no longer here was horrendous.
It was a sad day for football, and saw all the tributes, like I say, on Twitter, ex-players that had played with him, played for him. Feel pretty lucky that me and Scotty can sit here and hear all of that, you know, you played for him firsthand, and I can safely say that football is grateful for Justin Edinburgh. Absolutely. He certainly left his mark and did things that, well, like I said earlier on, went above and beyond, and really it sounds like it weren't a football team, it was a family.
Yeah, it was, definitely.
We both know what some environments can be like at football, and for you to experience that environment and for him to give you that is special, and I know you hold their memories fondly.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. Like you say, you can played in many dressing rooms, played for over 13, 14 years now, so you have change rooms where you don't get on with people, which is fine, that's football. But for someone to be able to build a team and make it a family and feel like that is a talent in itself. It's not easy to do. I've played in more dressing rooms where I've not liked it than when I've liked it.
You imagine a football team is full of egos.
Absolutely. Different
personalities. Yeah. So like you say, to create an environment like that is a talent in itself, as you said, so,
God rest his soul, he was incredible human.
Absolutely. When you moved on from Leyton Orient, you went to Southend.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your time at Southend, because I know that's probably not one of the brighter sparks in your career. No. How did it come about, and how did you find it there?
Yeah, so 4 years at Orient. 2, obviously, success, got back into the Football League, played in the league, we done okay. But it was never going to be the same. Justin, so for me, it was, I'd done 2 more years in the league, but it just didn't work out, and time for me to move on, which happens in football. Left Orient, I was 30, what would I have been then? 32. Thinking, who's going to want a 32 right now? I hadn't played for a bit, but I'd spoke to a couple of clubs that summer. So that was the first summer where I'd not been in contract my whole career. So that was the first time where I've actually gone, I've got to find a job. That was the first time, which, again, for me, proud of that, because I've had all them years where I've been in contract, earned a contract. Whereas that year was, right, let's see what this is all about. I'm 32, and this is the first time I've had to go and seek a club and find a club. So again, I was actually quite excited about it. It was quite like, got a choice. Hopefully I'll have a choice of where I play now or where I go. So I spoke to a few clubs, met with Luke Garrard at Boreham Wood, who I can't speak highly enough of. Loved my meet. I went to the ground with him. Met him at the ground. He showed me around, told me what he wanted to do, showed me the project, and I was like, unbelievable place to play anyway, because the facilities were lovely. He was a great guy. He seemed like his teams had always done well the years before as well. So I was like, well, this is a good option. It's not too far from me. Then the next day I went and met Phil Brown at Southend, and we don't really like Southend. Cambridge don't like Southend. Orient don't like Southend. But I sort of tried to look past that, and I met Phil Brown. Now, no disrespect to anyone else, but it's Phil Brown. He's managed in the Premier League. He's a legend of the game. Like, whether that's for doing that or not, he's a legend. So it was like, right, I had that decision to make, Boreham Wood or Southend, and I made Southend. I made the decision to go Southend. I don't regret anything in football, and I still don't regret going to Southend, but I made the wrong choice. I'm happy to say that. I had a torrid time there. I got injured. First day of pre-season, broke my toe in half, snapped my little toe in half, got tackled. Happens, football. But that sort of set the tone for my time at Southend. Got back, missed the whole of pre-season, trained 2 days before the first game of the season, ironically against Kings Lynn. Phil Brown said to me, look, I'm going to play you in the middle of a back three. I know you're not fit. I know you're not fit because you've been out. But I'm going to play. I want your experience out there. Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, again, me being me, I'll play. If you ask me to play, I'll play for anyone. Like, that's just me. Played 1-1-0. Thought, that's all right. Good start. But I was blowing out my ass, thinking I'm not fit. Anyway, played, kept playing. Then the results dipped. We weren't doing well at all. We were struggling, couldn't win a game of football. Torquay, I remember playing away at Torquay. The chairman come in and it felt awful. Phil Brown was stressed. I could tell he was stressed. I pulled him in the office one day. I just went up and said, "Can I have a word?" I said, "Phil, like what?" I said, "If is there anything I can do as a senior pro? Is there anything I can do on the to help you? Like, can I say something to one of the lads or a couple of lads? Grab a couple of lads? I don't know. But I thought I'd go and just say, look, I'm with you. Like, I want this to work for me and for you, because I thought, a good guy." And then we played Solihull on the Saturday. We went up on the Friday. Well, we had a pre-match, have a team meeting, as you do. I was like, he's gonna go off on one here.
Did Phil answer? Sorry to interrupt, Coles. Did Phil answer when you offered that
well, he
help
just said, no, we're going through a tough time.
Right.
I come out of the meeting thinking that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, I've helped. Like, I've said, look, as a senior, come out thinking, he's listened to me or whatever. He's not took that the wrong way. Got into this meeting. He just went off on it. It was like, I don't need fucking people coming in to see if I'm all right. I was like, well, he's obviously meaning me. But I told the lads that I can't keep treading on eggshells, because Phil was quite an emotional guy, and that's the manager, and I respect that. But I said to the boys, I can't keep treading on eggshells. I want to speak to him on that, because I like to. I don't know. I was quite a leader, so I'm like, let's work together. So if I can do anything and help the team, I'm doing it. But he didn't see it that way, I don't think. And was like, I don't need people seeing if I'm all right. I'm fucking all right, Coles. But I'd already told the boys, so it didn't really embarrass me, because they all knew I went and spoke to him. And I said, like, a couple of them were like, do you want me to come in with you? I'm like, no, I'll go and speak to him. Named the team, I weren't starting, I was on the bench. So I was like, buzzing, fine, I'm not bothered. You've just absolutely tried to bat me in front of all the boys. So I was a bit like, fuck you then, like, whatever. Get to the game, start warming up. John White, great guy, was the club captain. Great lad, great player. Bit older than me. Got injured in the warm-up, centre half. Got injured. I'm thinking, he's going to want me to play now. He's going to want me to. I'm going to have to play. Like, my head's gone as well. It's like gone. Because I'm fuming of what he's done to me. Anyway, didn't say no. I've done the warm-up, went in. He was like, Coles, you're in. Lead us out, captain. I was like, and again, I'm not a confrontational person, so I was like thinking, hold on a minute, you just battered me, dropped me. Now you want me to be the captain and lead them out? I was like, whatever. Again, for me, I'll do it, because that's me. I'm a professional. I'll go and do it. We lost 3-0. It was like the 90th, maybe like the 90th minute. they've got a goalie. They bring on the lad Hudlin. He's at Huddersfield, I think now. He's like 7 foot nearly, massive. He comes on and Phil's going, "Go on, Coles, fucking win your header." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll show this big cunt. Like, I'm going to win a header against a 7 foot geezer. I'll get up early, head the ball," and he's like, sort of like lifted up, and I've sort of gone up higher. And because he's so tall, I am quite high above the ground now. So I don't know where I am coming down. As I've landed, I've rolled my ankle, snapped, I broke my ankle in my talus, so across the front of my ankle. So, and it was, honestly, the pain was horrendous. It weren't like one of them where so it was right across the front. And I was in agony. Got the physio come on. I had to come off, and we'd made 3 subs. But I couldn't walk. I could not walk. I didn't know I broke it at the time, but I was like, something's happened in there. Because I'd had a couple of ankle injuries, so I knew I was in pain. So I come off, sit on the bench. I'm gutted because I'm injured again. Like I broke my toe. Now I think I've got a bad injury here. So I'm gutted. I'm devastated. I was crying because I was like, my time here has been hell. I hardly won a game of football. The fans are on me. So get into the change rooms, and I was in the physio room in the showers, and he's like, "Could you not have stayed on, Coles?" I was like, "Am I here?" And he's like, "I can't walk." Yeah. Anyway, went for an X-ray. I come home that night. My missus, bless her, I was in bed. I couldn't sleep. I woke. I was like, you know, when you're in and out of sleep. Woke up. I was shivering. I was like, I think I got COVID, babe. Like I'm in agony, but I'm shivering. I'm sweating. I was in bits. Got up in the morning. I said, I've got to go for an X-ray. The club was like, go for an X-ray. The club's a mess. Just so like it was a mess, absolute mess. Physio department they had nothing, no scans or anything, blah blah blah. Whereas at Orient, you literally need a scan that day. You go to the hospital and get a scan. So this was like, can you go to A&E for an X-ray? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Bearing in mind, before in pre-season, I'd been trying to get an X-ray for my toe. Went to the hospital. They were like, no, we can't X-ray your little toe because it's not. Well, any normal human being, I could still walk. That's fine. I could go to work. I couldn't play football.
Sports injury.
So they ended up having to send me to London to get a scan and paying for it. They didn't like that, but it needed to be done. Got there, snapped my toe.
You're a professional footballer.
Professional footballer. So I was like, right, I'll go A&E. So off a trot up to Bury. Got a scan, X-ray. Nothing come up in my X-ray. I'm like, that's not right because I am in agony. And I was like, I need an MRI. I have to have an MRI because that will show you like, everything that's going on in your ankle. Bones, muscle, whatever's in you. So anyway, they ended up, a few days later, got me an MRI. So I went to London again, off a trot. As soon as I get in there, I have to go and see the ankle specialist. And I've seen him before, when I injured my ankle before. So I sort of know him. And he was like, look, before you go in, because I went with another lad, he went, before you go in, I'll just assess it now, have a look. So he looked at it, he went, he's going to do this, do that. I was like, that's agony. All right. He went, how'd you do it? I said, done this. So he went, yeah, I reckon you've got a fracture in there somewhere. Went for a scan, come out, see him again. He went, yeah, look, fractured your talus right across the joint. Hairline fracture. It was like that long in my thing. I was like, oh, fuck it. I knew I was injured. I knew it. And I can just imagine them going, he's not even injured. He's all right. He don't want to play. So I broke my ankle. So Southend was an absolute disaster for me. Disaster. From minute one, the fans didn't like me. I don't think they took to me, which is fine, and I understand that because
was that the Cambridge link up?
Because of the Cambridge link up, the Orient, they don't like either club.
Right. So you're on the back foot straight away.
So I'm on the back foot straight away, I think, and then I didn't play well because I was injured, never fit, blah blah blah. So yeah, Tory time, bad decision going there.
When so I watch a lot of these podcasts on YouTube, and he's come up Brown in several of them. I don't get him as a character, just the things I hear. Like so. If he's not happy that you've come in and he's took it the wrong way, you're in his office, right? It's just you two. He could just hammer you there. Yeah. But instead, it's this. It goes back to that whole thing, you know, where he did the whole it's look at me, he wants to make a show of you in front of people.
Maybe.
I don't get that, mate.
Yeah, maybe.
You'd have more respect for him, if he hammered you in the office there and then told you to get out.
I don't need help.
What you do? Get out of it.
I'm not saying he needed help because Phil Brown, he's managing the Premier League. Like, he's an unbelievable football manager.
No, but sometimes as a gaffer, you might need a senior player. He might just go, listen, a couple of young lads are lacking confidence. Coles, go put your arm around X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Or even, Coles, I need you to play. Get fitter.
Yeah.
I'm working my nuts off here, by the way, but I don't know. He was under a lot of pressure. The club was a mess, an absolute mess, still is, bless it. Oh, hopefully it's not now. But it was a mess. So I think he took a lot of it on, and he lived miles away. So he was travelling. I think it was a lot for him. So again, I have nothing but the most respect for Phil Brown.
Don't protect him, mate. He's on my shit list. I'm not having it. I've heard enough now.
I've heard so many stories about when his teams are doing well, he's the best guy ever.
You can respect what he's done.
Yeah, and when I signed, I obviously done my homework. So I'd ask people. I spoke to people who had played for him. But unfortunately for me, I spoke to the ones that liked him and played well under him, and not the ones that had one. So I sort of had that impression that I'm going to love this geezer. So I think as well, on my behalf, it just didn't work, mate. I don't regret anything in football, and I still don't regret going there, but I should have signed for Bournemouth. I say that to my missus, I say it to my dad. I made the wrong decision. Should have gone and played for Luke Garrard at Bournemouth. And now I watch Bournemouth, and I want Bournemouth to do really well because he's such a good guy, Luke, the manager there. Yeah. So I want him to do well. But that's probably the only It is a regret. It is a regret. Ultimately, it is. I should have signed for them over Southend, but I went for being an idiot. I went Phil Brown and it's like Southend. But I also think making that decision sort of made me realise that it's not about what club you're playing for or who you're playing for. It's about what suits you as well. So when Kings Lynn come calling, I wasn't playing at Southend. I got back from my ankle injury. Kev Mayer come in. Darren Curry. They were brilliant guys who are there now doing an unbelievable job for that football club. They're doing too well for that football club. They deserve better. And then it come around like he obviously wasn't fit, so I needed to play games. And Kings Lynn was struggling in the National League. I spoke to their manager, Tommy Widrington, and again, it was a decision where I was like, do I go? They're struggling. They're probably going to get relegated. They were so far off it. Probably going to get relegated. My ego set in. Do I want a relegation on my CV? And then I thought, fuck it, I'm going because it's closer to home. I was getting sick of travelling to Southend and back every day. I was horrible when I come home. Shattered. Kids probably took it out on the kids and the missus. Hated it. So I just thought, right, I'm going. Lynn's 45 minutes away from my house. They train, they're full time. So I went, and it was, again, probably one of the best decisions I've made because I absolutely loved it. We were so close to staying up. Tommy Widrington, like I say about Justin, he was a perfect fit for me. Looked after me. Didn't have to train every day. Do what I need to do. Be a leader. He'd bounce things off of me. The assistant Hugo, class, like respected me and let me. They knew I knew the game, so put me in the middle of a back three, and again, just I'd run through brick walls for them because they were brilliant, and we were so close. You know what, that hurt. We got relegated, and it really hurt because when I went there, I remember playing that first game. We played Grimsby at home, and we won. Weymouth at home, 1-3-0. It was the first clean sheet they kept. I was so proud. I was so buzzing for the fans because Kings Lynn's only a little club. Now, a lot of other people will go, whatever, ain't horrible. Yeah, they are, but they're my horrible. Yeah. They're like my guys. I love them. They're brilliant. And we just fit. Like, I connected with them straight away, connected with the manager, connected with all the players there. So I was gutted when we got relegated because we were so close. Few results here and there, we would have stayed up, and that would have been. And then I think the club would have kicked on. But we got relegated. Then I didn't really. Again, I was out of contracts. Only signed a year at Southend. Tommy said to me straight, like early doors, like, I want to keep you. I want you to stay. So it was just about sorting the contract out. And he kept the majority of that squad and added some good lads. So I knew we'd be good in that. Good. I was like, right, okay, I'm going to get them back up. And we had a hell of a year. Finished 1 point off Fylde. And then lost in the playoffs. But a lot happened. Tommy left. 7 games to go. He had an opportunity to go Aldershot. My chairman probably won't like me saying it, but he probably see a progression at Aldershot and a plan, and he had to better himself. So Tommy left us in the shit. Well, he didn't because we won 7 games in a row after that. Hughesy took it, who was our first team coach, who I Love Husey, respect him, great football coach, and we were so close. We just got it wrong on the day. Kidderminster beat us 4-0 at home, done an absolute job on us. Fair play to them, and they went on to win the playoffs. So again, it's not fair because we finished about 20 points above them and lost to them. But again, that was another. That was gutting. After that game, I was gutted because I knew what was coming. I could see that the chairman sort of cut the budget a bit, and we lost 8 of us starting 11 really. 8 lads that, again, if we'd kept it this year, we would have been challenging again. But people have to move on. We had a lad coming from Leeds every day, Tyler Denton, unbelievable player. He's now signed for Scunthorpe. They're flying. Skip, Mike Clunan, who's King's Lynn boy, but he's at that age now. He's gone Scunthorpe again. Good move, good money. Can't deny him it. Lost Aaron Jones, one of my closest friends. He went to Aldershot with Tommy. Theo, the son of the manager, went, but was an important player for us. Gold, Omieto was up front, was our vocal point, scored us the goals. He went to Fylde. And you just sort of losing all these. Even you're losing, like we had a lad, Ty Fleming, young lad, centre half, played a few games, done really well. We lose him. Even things like that for me, if he stayed, he would have played most of this season. But he's gone. Do you know, like you lose these people and you're thinking, oh,
a lot of key players.
Yeah, Hughes, you wanted me to stay. I wanted to stay because look, selfishly it fits for me. We train in Ely every day, 20 minutes from my house. I can progress. They want me to be the 23s coach. So I'm coaching the 23s.
Brilliant.
So for me, it was the right decision to stay. For the others, I get it. It was the right decision for them to move on. But it's killed us. Yeah. So we've not had a great start to the season, but that's football. We'll get through it.
That's something you're looking to get into then, course, I take it, with the coaching and potentially managing one day, I guess.
I don't think I want to be a manager.
Right.
Because it's stress and it's a lot of pressure. Not that I don't like the pressure, because I love pressure. You need pressure, but I just look at that job and I just think, look, I'm quite a homeboy. My kids are at school, they're all settled. I look at management now. Yeah. If I got into management, say for instance, in 2 years I manage Kings Lynn, and I do well, and then someone comes in for me as
Exeter.
Exeter come in, it's the right decision to go because it's better in my career.
Football.
I don't want to do that. Yeah. I've done that my whole career. Look, I haven't, because I've never moved away from home. But I'm now settled here. My kids are at school. For me, my kids are the most important thing now. School, education, or whatever, and then see what they want to do. Do I want to be travelling 4 hours to manage a team and get the stress? Or you do whatever and you fail, and then you're right down the bottom. Again, I don't know. It might be for me. I didn't think I'd ever want to coach.
Yeah.
But now I do.
Yeah.
So I love doing the under-23s. Job come up at Cambridge United. I was speaking to you before. Job come up at Cambridge United, 18's head coach. I haven't done my badges because I never thought I'd wanted to coach. Now, I'm not saying I would have got that job or I would have gone for that job right now, but I looked at that job and I thought, that's a job I could do, but I can't do it because I ain't got the badges. So I'm a little bit behind and I'm playing catch-up, which I regret, but I don't regret it because I never wanted to be a coach. Now I've got the taste for it. I love doing the 23s. I took the first team for a couple of sessions after Husey left and the chairman was looking for a manager, and I was like, I really enjoy it and feel like I've got stuff to give, like especially for the younger lads. And look, I don't shy away from the fact that when I finish football, the one place I want to go and work, Cambridge United. Like, whether that's coaching, whether that's I'd love to go back there and do something, I don't know, commercial or something totally different, something not on the football related side, something to help the club. I'd love to go back and do that. And obviously I still speak to everyone at the club. I go watch when I can and really close to Bonds and speak
club
to
legend.
Bonds.
You're a club legend, mate.
Yeah, which is funny because I don't see myself. I'm just a boy that played for my club for 10 years and I'm so privileged to be able to have done that, and I'd love to help the club again. Do you know what I mean? Go back and do. I'd be the kit man. I'd be the groundsman. I'd do anything as long as I pay my mortgage.
No, you're well loved, course. You know, I'm a regular match goer. You know, when Kings Lynn aren't playing, you pop up at somewhere like Derby away, and someone will spot you, and then
Coles,
You know,
give it a song.
Big chance, yeah.
Got a bit nervous doing that.
There was one where you were scrambling and then you give it the old, we hate Borough.
It's an easy one, though, isn't it? It's an easy one, because we do hate them.
No, absolute legend. There's two games that we've wanted to give its own merit to in isolation. Probably two of the biggest games you've ever played in, I would say, and must be a dream come true. You must sit there and think, did I actually do that? We've got two shirts behind us here, Jones and Herrera.
Yeah.
What an experience.
Yeah.
We drew with Man United.
Yeah.
You had a chance in that game.
Yeah, best miss of my career.
It was, yeah.
Got a picture just there.
Yeah, it was worth a bit.
Where De Gea's scrambling a bit. He's like, oh, thank God that's gone over.
We were chatting to Chaddy about it, and he was going, he's trying to claim that he just wanted the replay.
I do claim that. I didn't think that at the time, trust me.
How do you look back on them games? That's incredible. And them coming here and not turning us over at the Abbey.
Look, I like Spurs, and I don't really like Man United, but, you know, in the FA Cup, as a kid, it was always, if you play for a little club, it's like, FA Cup, Man United away. Imagine you get Man United away. It's always the one, because Old Trafford, one of the most famous grounds in the world, one of the biggest clubs in the world, with an unbelievable history. So that is always it. As a kid, a lot of people say they want to win the FA Cup at Wembley, I've not won the FA Cup at Wembley, but I've won at Wembley, and I've won two trophies at Wembley. So that's a tick. And Old Trafford, like, you want to play against Man United in the FA Cup, and I've done it. When we got them, I still remember it sitting in the living room. My missus, her family are all Man United, so that makes it even sweeter. And I remember it coming out, and it was like ball 30. And my missus knew, as soon as it come out, before they'd even said ball 30, she went, that's Man United! And I'm like, no, it ain't. Like, it's Man United. We got them at home. I was a bit like, at home? We got Man United. Yeah. So obviously the build-up to that was massive. Even stupid things like, I remember, because it was on telly, and they put the inflatable thing over the
dome,
pitch.
to keep it,
because it was obviously
cold, wasn't it?
Cold.
Yeah, January.
And I'm thinking, this game's massive. Like, this is huge. And then just like, well, we're playing Man United. Like, we could lose 5-6-0. No one's going to care, because it's Man United against Cambridge United. It's Ander Herrera versus Josh Coulson. It's Falcao versus Josh Coulson. Like, come on.
That's normally on FIFA, isn't it?
Yeah, a lad from Cherry Hinton playing against like these people that are playing for their country and won Champions Leagues against me. I'm like, and I remember being in a tunnel looking at them going, they do not want to be here. They do not want to be here, and this is brilliant. Going out, and we've done really well. Obviously, rode our luck at times and had that chance. I mean, look, ultimately missing it probably actually was. I think if I scored, because it was quite early, they would have gone, nah, we need to turn it up here. And I don't think we might have lost. Yeah. Because they would have had to kick there. But because I missed, I think they just thought, I will win. But would I have loved to score against De Gea? Absolutely. Absolutely. But hindsight is a wonderful thing. We drew, and I remember running to Ryan Donaldson being like, we're going to Old Trafford. We've done Wembley. We're going to Old Trafford this year. That's mental. And then playing there was just... Well, I said, and I'll say it all the time, like, it was literally, right, we're going to Old Trafford to have a kickabout, because we were all like good friends as well. It was like going to Old Trafford to have a kickabout with my friends against these superstars at the most famous ground in the world. It was mental. I remember warming up, and the bus got delayed, didn't it? All the fans' buses got in traffic.
Yeah, I was about 15 minutes behind, yeah.
Matt Walker comes out and says, boys, the game's getting delayed. We'll go in and come back out. Oh, shut up. Going in. I said, no, I'm taking free kicks at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Like, no. We ended up going in for like 5 minutes. But I was like, let me have a couple of shots though. At least I can like...
make the most of it.
Yeah, this was like a boy's... Like, we're on the pitch. Like, I see my little boy come on at Kings Lynn on the pitch, and he buzzes off it because he's on the pitch playing, kicking it in the goal. That's how I felt. Yeah. Like that little kid being able to play. And I had the Cambridge United badge on as well, so that made it even better. Quality. And I'm looking up, and all my friends and family and all that are there, and I'm like, come here. Yeah, incredible.
Coles, unbelievable career, mate. I can speak on behalf of Scotty and say we loved watching a Cambridge supporter represent our club. We genuinely do mean that. Also want to thank you for welcoming us to your bar.
Anytime,
in your
mate.
garden.
You're more than welcome.
You've been quality, mate,
Thank
and
you,
I've
mate.
really enjoyed that episode. We've been going for about 2 hours, 15 minutes.
I'll
we got,
rattle on, don't I?
we
Sorry,
got, we
mate.
got plenty in. I also want to say thanks to you, Scotty, as well, because you've jumped on a couple of episodes. Don't know if we're going to get another one in before I head back to Australia. But boys, that was quality. I
Thanks,
enjoy
sir.
it. So
Enjoyed it.
Thanks for
Well
coming,
done,
mate.
lads.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
I'm desperate for a wee. Right, legends, if you're at this point of the video, that means you're enjoying my content. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button, you hit the like button, and you hit the little notification bell so you don't miss any of my up-and-coming videos.